the team called the morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover. That's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Thursday, August 28th. I'm excited. I've got a loud voice, and I'm yelling and screaming. It's time for college football here on Thursday. Last week was good, but this week is better. We've got all the games to discuss. Well, we'll talk about the big games today. We won't get into all of them, but we'll have picks available for more plays from some of the other games today. We kick it off early here on Thursday with college football at 5:30 Eastern and 2:30 Pacific. We get underway with that Boise State, South Florida game and get into probably 8 more games on the card here. And there's some other games too, but we'll have some picks available somewhere along the line on some of those other games, but we have some Major League Baseball as well and some WNBA. Thank you for joining me for this exciting show. And hey, hopefully you joined me last night, but it was really joining my man, Sean Fox, with the Betting Throwdown, our new Wednesday show. I got to be on it, the debut show for Sean. Sean's done a few shows in his day. I'm sure you can tell that if you checked out the show. So hopefully you'll like that. And a little bit of a change of pace for us on Wednesdays to have Sean Fox host the show. And, hey, I'll be in there sometimes, and maybe he'll invite me back. But, man, we had a great guest last night. Last night was the official college football preview show here, I think, on the Sports Money Network. I don't think it intended to be that way, but, man, we had a great guest yesterday. Rob was with us. So check out that show. We talked about some college football and talked about a lot of the games over the weekend as well and the season outlook for some of the teams. So, hey, thanks for joining me, everybody, as we get rolling here on a Thursday. I'll say hello to everyone in the chat. I know I sound all excited, and why wouldn't I be? With, those other days just kind of wore on. This is Ramon Scott. Mikey yelled at me to get on the air earlier, get on the put to 6 Pacific on the time, and I still can't make it to the stage here in time. But hey, I've got a lot of prep work coming in right now. Last second, we've already seen some steam come in. Let me say hello to the folks in the chat. Hey, you can comment in the chat and win some free plays from me. You want to get a pick on the Elon Duke game? You might want to subscribe to my picks over at winnable.com. We won't be previewing that one, but maybe we'll have a pick on some of those other games today. Cash Kane, he's first to join us in the chat. Good morning to Robert McCormick. Nuke is here. You know Nuke would be here today with our college football. And also, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, the fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. D Money, good morning. There's the other D Money. So Sean's broadcast partner on the show, his co-host is D Money, and I was like, man, I hope D Money shows up so I can introduce D Money to D Money. But D Money had to go, and D Money never showed up. But here's our D Money from the show today. Thank you, D-Money. And Trevor Davis liked the premiums last night. Yeah, man, I'm on a wish I could bottle them all up and share them all over the internet. I can't hit everything, and I try to do as many uh, probable picks, try to get them all right. But man, we are clicking on some of those premiums yesterday, and I'll talk about them right now. Thomas Maggio, hello, and Lauren S. Nice to have Lauren here on the big college football Thursday show. I don't know how deep we'll get into them. We'll try to get into them as much as we can. Of course, here as we get ready to start the college football season. We know we haven't had week 0, and that's okay. I used to not be a week 0 kind of guy. I was like, why would we call it week 0? That's dumb. But that's week 0. Okay, you got 4 games. You don't want to waste one of your highly valued Arabic numerals on a game that has a week that has 4 games. Okay, so this is week number 1. Elliot's ready for Pirate Ball today, and we'll see. Hopefully there's no fights. And D-Money when they're ready to get back going. All right. I want to review some of the action from yesterday. We'll be here for 2 hours. Make no mistake. This will not be a 1 hour. It will not be a 75-minute. It won't even be 90 minutes. It's probably going to be close to 2 hours of action. And that's what you want here on College Football Thursday. There's even more games almost tomorrow. Elliot's going to be going ready to go with that yellow shirt. And, of course, we know in that game, like I said, that fight last year in the bowl game, remember? Okay, let's or in their matchup. Okay, let's take a look at some of the action here from yesterday. I want to cover it. We had winners for sure, and like I said, my sports money premiums here with the Win Club doing pretty well here of late. That's for sure. Another winning day yesterday. Hey, we had yesterday here on the show, we started off with the New York Yankees on the run line yesterday. Yes, we did. We had those Yankees there in the win over Washington. Did they win 2-0? No. Did they win 3-0? No. When they kept winning and scoring, and man, the Yankees were up 10-0, and I had the win in the 3rd inning. So, well, that day we'll take it. There with the Yankees clubbing Washington 11-2. The Yankees had 6 home runs, and I think I watched all of them there. And the Yankees have won 9 of 12. Look out. And we also had that one as a winner over at Tony's Picks, one of my super high roller boutique plays there on the over in that one. We scored there over at Tony's. My premium pick winner was on the Atlanta Braves here with the Win Club. This is my high volume product. If you're interested in that, I'll tell you about it here. And we had the over with Atlanta and Miami, and Atlanta crushed 12-1. Ozzie Albies 5 RBIs and that home run. Premium pick winner was on the Cleveland Guardians yesterday with the win over Tampa Bay, just 4-3. We said take Cleveland on the run line. Minus $1.30, but that's okay. They got it done. Cleveland yesterday getting the win 4-3. Was 2-2 late. Cleveland ended up winning there over Tampa Bay. Manzardo had the walk-off game winner. We did have here on the show yesterday the under, and it did stay under. Winner here on the show yesterday, San Diego and Seattle game to go under. Boo. Padres lost to Woo, and Mariners led early 4-0. Tatis had an RBI double late, and Sheets had an RBI, but it was Suarez, the 3-run home run early, as Seattle got the win. A key loss for the Padres for sure, considering that the Dodgers were able to get it done yesterday. Winner on the show yesterday, Boston with Bello. We had them yesterday in the 3-2 win there over Baltimore. Rafaela with the big 2-run home run was a key moment in that one. Boston's won 6 of 7. Hey, I hope you join me every day on a show called Cover the Spread on YouTube. I had another winner on there yesterday. I had more winners on there yesterday. I'm clicking really on that show right now. We did give out the first 5 team total over on Toronto there in the game against Minnesota. Toronto did win the game 9-8, but we said go ahead and take the team total over in the first 5 in that one. And on the happy hour, I went over in the game with Minnesota and Toronto. 9-8. Toronto gets the win in that one. Barger had the big hit in that one. Barger time. Toronto's 22 games over 500. Also had a winner here with my high roller picks over at Tony's Picks with Arizona and Milwaukee game to go under yesterday as Perdomo hit the home run. Milwaukee's won 40 of their last 51 games. Arizona won at 3-2. Also, winner here on the show yesterday with Kansas City yesterday in the 12-1 win over the White Sox. We also had a premium winner with the Win Club in the 12-1 win for Kansas City. They scored 8 runs in the 5th inning, went on for the win. Winner over at Tony's Picks yesterday. I did pretty well with my baseball over there with the under with Pittsburgh and St. Louis in the 2-1 win there. Pittsburgh gets that win there with Tommy Pham, a 2-run single in that one. Also, winner on the Cover the Spread show for me, maybe. I don't know. I did say take Texas on the run line yesterday, but by the time I did that show yesterday between the Angels and the Texans, I said it was going to be Tyler Anderson and Nathan Eovaldi. It turned out to be Kokonowitz and Latz by the time they got that one going. Man, still can't believe Eovaldi's done for the season there, and bummer for Texas. Also a winner here on the show yesterday, Houston on the run line over Colorado. Yeah, why not? 4-0. Valdez clutch in that one, but Jordan Alvarez also had a 2-run home run, but Valdez was dealing there. And we did have a premium pick winner. I think we won them all yesterday. With the Win Club, but I had the over with the Cubs and San Francisco in that one, and it was 12-3. San Francisco crushed them, so that was an easy winner. I know Mike had Giants first 5 there. Rafael Devers, he had the big home run in that one. And late night, we had another premium winner with the Athletics. Mikey had him too with the Win Club. We both had him as the Athletics won it there over the A's. 7-0 in a blanking there in that one. WNBA had a winner also in the premiums with the Aces and the Dream game to go under as we really crushed that board. And on the Tony's Picks happy hour, hope you caught me there yesterday. I had the I had the Connecticut Sun in that win over Dallas as they pulled away for the victory there. All right. That was a pretty good day. And you can get those premium plays just by typing something into the chat and having your name drawn at the end of the contest. Or you can go over to winnable.com/Ramon and get the plays there for just a couple of bucks a day or 50 cents a day if you subscribe for 1 month at $19.95 and use the promo code Steve at checkout. That'll get you I thank you for all the subscribers who some days, we only had maybe a handful of picks. Now you're getting your money's worth, I think, anyway, even if I just send the picks. But, for 50 cents a day, you're just getting some additional information, my picks close to game time, 30 to 60 minutes. And hopefully you can go with me or go against me or just use it to kind of gauge where you are in your plays. So I think it's a good service, and you can get it over at winnable.com/Ramon. This is where we play the commercial.
It's your boy, Mikey Money. I'm inviting you to join the Sports Money crew on Winnable. Get all of our premium best bet selections.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays sent straight to your phone right when you need them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
All right, and not only that, We had some more winners on the day yesterday in some tennis action there. But, man, one win we did have, we had Taylor Townsend over Yelena Ostapenko. And we said, goodbye, Yelena Ostapenko. She was really rude after losing that match. You know what she told Taylor Townsend? She said, you have no class and you have no education. Well, that's a way to be a sport. And maybe Townsend said, you can learn to take a loss better. Those girls were arguing with each other there yesterday. So let me just say hello to a few more folks and also talk about who is the top poster right now in the chat. See who else is joining me here. 9 Legacies ready to go today. Jimbo is here. Hopefully my excitement has everyone poised and ready for a great day. Stop Geo is here today. Jimmy as well. Nuke says, I've got 17 college football games and I've got 8 baseball games. Finally, here, listen to Ramon talk baseball and come on. This is the morning steam and welcome. I'm Ramon Scott. And we are excited today. Terrell says, look at those aces. Man, are the aces going to come back and win the championship? Last night when I was with Sean, now he's an expert basketball bettor, NBA and WNBA. Don't just think he's coming on here talking WNBA because it's his favorite sport. But he likes the Liberty still to get things done. I said, do you think they can still get it done if they're in 5th place? Jimmy's not talking about me. He's talking about those ladies. And Robert said he had that Emma under 20, right? What was it? 6-3, 6-2, something like that. Thomas, that might be our first official college football pick of the day there with Rutgers on a lead. All right. Top posters here right now to get us going is D-Money. You're number 1 right now. Nuke number 2. Elliot number 3 in there. And Trevor Davis, Thomas Maggio, Bobby Mack, Lauren's in there, and Terrell, 9 Legacy, and Cascade today. So, all right, that's awesome. Man, I'm ready to go, I guess. I'm trying to think if we need to discuss anything in the world of sports from yesterday other than the recap of the action. We know no golf. We're done with golf, right? And we did get the word Rashee Rice gets that 6-game suspension. I guess that's part of the news there yesterday as well. So it'll be a little slow to start that. We did have the other D-Money. That's his team. So we asked him about that a little bit there. So, all right. And ready to go with the show, man. Looking forward to some college football tonight. I think did they get that YouTube situation there with Fox? Is that all cleared up? I think it did. So, all right. Thanks, everybody. Ready to go here on the show. All right. Make sure I got all the graphics ready, and even with the internet went down for me, like it's one of those routine, repair overnight, but right when I'm trying to prepare for the show, I'm like, well, I'll just go to bed and wake up and do it. Hopefully they'll be fixed with the internet. They were, but I was ready to settle in for a little bit of a late night, show producing, I guess. We're starting with college football today. You better believe it here on the show. And get ready for college football right now. Coverage, previews of the action. Trying to make sure we get everything set and ready. Maybe everything wasn't quite ready because of the intervals last night. All right, here we go, man. We got to talk about it. 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific. You got the Boise State Broncos, and they're taking on the South Florida Bulls in this one. And you got Boise. Are they really down to 5.5 here off that opener of 9.5 or even 10? Man, the action's on South Florida. The steam came in on South Florida. The steam also came in on the over here, and now it's all the way up to 62. This was as low as 56.5 on some openers. Now, this week's openers are a little bit different than week 2, week 3, week 4, right? Because a lot of these had opened up much earlier than just 1 week ago, so they had some time to mature. So don't get an overreaction. I say don't get overreaction, but I kind of am on overreaction myself because I'm ready to go against some of these moves already. Even though I'm the Mr. Steam guy, kind of want to go against some of these moves. All right, let's talk with Boise. Let's talk Boise State and South Florida. You guys get ready in the chat as well to load up on some action with me there. The chat all stars. I want to hear from you on all of our games here today. All right. Well, for the Boise State Broncos, 12-2 last season. They have 7 offensive starters back, 7 defensive starters back. Boise State's got a good program, and out of all the teams on the West Coast, if you know what I mean, that aren't in a big conference, Boise State might be the best of all the teams this season. Broncos have a pretty experienced offensive line coming back. They've got a junior quarterback in there, threw for 3,000 yards last year, 23 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Boise State is a road favorite. They're just mediocre in that role, 8-1 the last 17 occurrences. They give the road favorite role quite a bit given their nature of their conference schedule. They're head and shoulders, in my opinion, in the Mountain West. It's either Boise or bust. It feels like, if somebody ends up winning, it's because Boise does not achieve what they're expected to do this season. I think they're almost a $2 favorite to win the division. Boise struggles sometimes in non-conference games, but they do schedule up sometimes, and this isn't an easy task going to South Florida, even though the Bulls aren't quite there yet. But Boise just 5-10 in there against the spread in their recent non-conference games. For South Florida, they have back-to-back 7-6 seasons after a couple of losing years. So the Bulls have 16 starters back, 8 on each side of the ball, and they're pretty experienced as well on the offensive line. Their quarterback, Archie, though, only 5 career starts. He threw for 830 yards last year and also ran for over 350 yards. So that's kind of where he's a little bit more of a dual threat. All right, so the Bulls 5-5 under Coach Golish as an underdog. USF 8-7 against the spread at home as an underdog. The Bulls are 7-3 against the spread in non-conference games under Golish. This is the first meeting in 25 years between these two programs. Let's see what you have in this one. Boise State and South Florida is ready to go. Boise, we know they were on a roll last year, winning all those games. They did go under in 4 of their last 5, but South Florida did go over in 6 of their last 7. South Florida just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games at home. I know you're excited. I'm excited. Let's hear from the chat and see what they have in the first game. This is only the first game, and we're all excited. I might be some more salutations in there that I might have missed. Hope this doesn't mess up the show too much, but I don't want to miss saying hello to everyone today. Terrell's got some nice statistics here. He says these are the top teams with the most returning starters, and I think I just mentioned a couple of them here, didn't I? All right, Cash Caton says Boise State spread and over. Nuke is on South Florida. He wants those points. Terrell's got a little action here. Always giving us more of the returning players for those top teams there. Flea Mathis is here today. South Florida Moneyline for Twisted. Flea Mathis in the chat. All right. D-Money likes the Bulls plus the points. It is Jimmy on the over here in this one. All right. And here we go. Let's see a few more. This is great, man. Thank you guys for being ready. Boise for 9 Legacy. Boise, great defense. And USF did lose some offense. Cash Kane says Boise will take a few games to get fine-tuned. Duke says Boise cannot lose this one. And even though he's throwing in South Florida, I'm pretty sure Duke means do not lose, Boise. for those, because Boise certainly has a chance to be that top team from the rest of the West, if you know what I mean, there. So, and Trevor on Boise. I think you guys are in. I think you guys have committed to this one with Boise State and South Florida. So let me make my call here and in this one. All right. This one's trickled down a little bit. Like I said, that widely reported steam, did come in on the under, and we're seeing this one now here at 62.5 here. That is a little bit down from some of the numbers there for sure. Like I said, this one did have an opener as high as 65 at some books. Now, if I'm just covering the top books, I think we're mostly dealing at 63.5, and it's gone down a little bit here. So, all right. Well, Boise should have a good D, but this is going to be an interesting game, right? Boise is a powerful team, man, and they could look to get this done. I got to go over here in this one with Boise and South Florida. I'm going over tonight in this one. Next up, the Ohio Bobcats are going to take on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. And you've got Rutgers favored here by 15, total 51. This one opened as low as 10.5, and it's been Rutgers as a runaway favorite for the most part coming into this one. And, hey, that's okay. Ohio, they cleaned the house, or they had to regroup, restart a little bit, if you know what I mean, just because of the fact that, they had a record-setting year last year. I mean, this was Ohio. U was off the charts with their incredible 11-win season, their first in school history, their first MAC championship since basically I was born. I don't know how else to put it. I'm a 57-year-old man. I think that was the last time they won the MAC championship. So the head coach took off. We'll talk about that team later, and almost their entire defense is gone too. But they do have their quarterback Navarro, and Rutgers. Rutgers, they can come in here. I mean, they're obviously, big favorite here, 15 points. They rank in the top 10 in returning production. You saw Terrell talking about some of those teams, but I'm talking about the guys who actually made plays. And seems like the market here, the moves on Rutgers and the over. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And I don't know about this stiff of a move. The widely reported steam did come in on Rutgers here, but man, at 16, Ohio has had to rebuild a little bit, but that was a pretty good season for them. And even though they have a new coach, you got to think the program was I don't want to say left bare. It wasn't, but they dominated the MAC last year. Rutgers, it's still a step up. Taking Rutgers, Brian Smith takes over as the quarterback here. Usually anytime the Bobcats step in and play the Big Ten, it's trouble. But average of allowing 41 points per game. But this is Rutgers. I'm not saying that that's not some of the teams that Ohio has played in the past in the Big Ten. Rutgers isn't even the Minnesotas or the Wisconsins of the world necessarily, or the Buckeyes. We've got to move right now, and we're going to keep you posted on all the moves. Lafayette is taking the steam right now in their game against Bowling Green. Now, Bowling Green opened up lower than the 17 that they just bought off of. They opened about 14.5, went all the way up to 17, but now the Sharps came in on Lafayette, and that's the Lafayette Leopards, by the way, not UL Lafayette. So we'll give you the steam on those other games. That's why you're here on the morning steam. We do more than just those 8 games there. You heard Nuke say, I've got 25 games or whatever. We'll talk. We're not going to break those down necessarily, but we'll have some plays in those games here on the show. All right, where did I leave off? Where did I leave off here with that? All right, Rutgers, pardon me, you guys. Rutgers did benefit heavily from the transfer portal on defense. That's where they always need help. And, of course, they're coming off a winning season. But one of the players, a very interesting this signing by Rutgers, is Bradley Weaver. He started 26 games in his 4-year career at Ohio, where he had 14 and a half career sacks, including 8.5 last year. He's on Rutgers now as a graduate senior, so that adds a little bit there. But, man, come on, that's a big move here against the Ohio program. Let me go to the chat before I spout off here in this one. It's going to be hard to take this MAC team, but I might have to do it on the move, you guys. All right, here's some more plays. Boise's a gift, says Terrell. And that's I think that's the only thing, right, that Terrell, I don't know if he's accentuating it or just reminding, but says 88-degree weather. There could be some thunderstorms, I hear. I don't think it's that serious, but it could be hot and muggy. And who adapts better to that one in that Boise State game? So I know we're on Ohio Rutgers, but I just want to add that. Rutgers should win big, says Thomas. Yeah, they're 16-point favorites here. Cash Game says that money's coming in on Ohio. Yeah, maybe it is. But like I said, Rutgers did open considerably lower in the early markets there, and they 10.5 up to 15.5. So, Nuke likes Rutgers to jam here. I don't know if I can do it. 9 Legacy Rutgers. Terrell says they'll win it by 21. Rutgers big. You guys are all over it. I'll go with Jimmy here. I'm going to take Ohio. It's going to be hard for Ohio to replicate that season last year, but I've got this no more than a 2-touchdown victory. Like I said, Ohio was pretty good, you guys. They just won 11 games last year. Okay, got a new coach, sent him on his way to a better program, but they were pretty good. Ohio was very good last year, 11 wins. So I'm taking Ohio in this one.
System playing.
Next up, boy, I can talk all these games. I want to talk all the college football with you here today. How about East Carolina and North Carolina? Should we just get Elliott in here to talk about this one between East Carolina and North Carolina State? Remember, these two teams got into it last year with a big old fight. Remember that? Maybe I'm sure Elliott can remind us of it. This was the Military Bowl last season. I said it was a bowl game, right? Or did I say it was regular? It was bowl game, Military Bowl. East Carolina won the game 26-21. They were 7-point underdogs, but there was a late brawl. In fact, the nose tackle for NC State, I think, is suspended for this game, or for the first half, for his role in that brawl. North Carolina State, they are the more experienced team, as Terrell might tell us here, and they should be motivated, I would think, after that one, right? We saw a couple of sharp moves maybe on NC State. Look at that line, up to 14 here. They opened as low as 10.5 in some markets, and now we're looking at 14 mostly in the total, 60.5 here with East Carolina and North Carolina State. Let's hear how you guys have this one, and maybe I'll go over a couple trends here too with this matchup. But like I said, it's almost like the little brother, right, coming up to try to beat you up here. And ECU now has a coach Hauser, quarterback Hauser in there coming in from Michigan State. So that's going to be a nice coaching move here. I say former Michigan State quarterback in here, of course. You remember him. So ECU just 9-19 since 2020, but we'll see. Wolfpack has Bailey coming back. I guess he didn't transfer. Man, I thought for sure he'd be out the door. And don't forget, you got Hollywood Smothers in there. Don't forget. So, look, I think it's going to be a good move here. Let's take a look at some of these trends with these two as well. And then I want to hear from you with this one. East Carolina has covered 5 of their last 7 last year. North Carolina State just 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 games at home. Let's hear from you guys. I think I'm done reciting some of the playbook here, I feel like, in this one. All right. Let's go to the chat. We've got, here we go. Cash Kane is on ECU in this one. Twisted's on ECU. D Money on ECU. There's a lot of ECU here. Oh. Jimmy's on ECU. This is remember we used to have a consensus? I think it's on ECU here. 9 Legacy calms it down. He says, give me NC State. A first half, full game. Team total. Roll with the pack. Nuke likes East Carolina here as well in this one. All right. Yeah, that the steam came in there on NC State, but I don't know, a 2-touchdown game after it was close last year. I got to take the Pirates. Give me East Carolina plus 2 touchdowns in this one. Robert likes the Wolfpack to crush ECU here. All right, next up. Jacksonville State and Central Florida. And don't sleep on this one with Central Florida here, big favorite. There's been changes at Jacksonville State a little bit. Central Florida here, 20.5, and the total 53. This one opened as low as 16.5, and now we're up to 20 here. Now, things have changed a little bit for sure for Jacksonville State. Rich Rod has taken off for West Virginia, so and he took 6 guys with him too. So a little bit of a roster overhaul here for Coach Kelly, who takes over at Jacksonville, and they're going to change. They're not going to be all wild and crazy like they were under Rich Rod. But hey, for Central Florida, old is new with head coach Scott Frost. Remember, he led Central Florida that incredible season several years ago, and well, he's back. Got some steam coming in on the added board. This is where you're going to get your added board information from me. Steam coming in right now. Go down to where everything's big in Texas. SFA in Houston. Stephen F. Austin in Houston. Steam here to the under in this one at 55.5. This one's going to be dropping here probably to 54. SFA in Houston taking the steam to the under here on the Morning Steam show. That's what we do here on the Morning Steam. So this is a bit of a rebuilding year for sure, because we know how good they were under Rich Rod, 18-9 there over the last couple of seasons plus. I think for Frost here, though, he comes back. It didn't work out at Nebraska. Maybe it was a case of disaster that they had with the prior coach in there with Malzahn, and so maybe he couldn't quite clean it up in time here. So Malzahn's moved on as well. So for Central Florida, Cam Fancher is a starter. He was at Marshall and FAU. UCF has 25 transfers and actually ranked 6th in the country by Rivals as one of the top recruiting teams here in the country. So look, Central Florida is the considerably better team here, but it's up to 20. You still got a decent program here in Jacksonville State, it feels like. Let's see what you guys have in the chat here in this one. And I'll get your plays here. All right, Jacksonville State's covered 7 of their last 10 coming in. Central Florida, we know it was bad news last year. In fact, they lost 8 of their last 9 games, just 1-4 against the spread. But again, just things were different. Things changed a little bit. Okay, let's go to the chat. It's going to be, let me make sure I got it here. Twisted said ECU with the upset. Central Florida spread here. Trevor says UCF can roll. Okay, Cash Kane, is he talking about Jacksonville here? Thomas says UCF big. Terrell says the teams are rebuilding. And he says it'll be ugly, sloppy game here. Jacksonville State plus the points, but maybe the under, and Robert likes the under. I'm going to take these points with Jacksonville State here in this one. Like I said, I'm kind of going against these moves a little bit. And, yeah, I agree. A little bit of a rebuild here. I'll try the points. Nine Legacy likes Central Florida. All right. No value in Central Florida, I'll be honest here for you guys there. But look, hey, a line move is a line move, right? And these line moves early season and maybe warrant the least consideration, right? Because, those limits aren't thrown out there very heavy. Okay, let's continue on. And Nuke says that when Central Florida joined the Big 12, it was a recipe for disaster, right? Because of that tough schedule now. And you get caught up in a season like last year, you're going to pay the price. All right, UL Monroe is taking some big-time steam here. UL Monroe was upwards here of 22.5 at one point for Monroe in their game against St. Francis. Now Monroe is up to 27.5. How about it here today? Monroe taking the steam here this morning against St. Francis. We just call him St. Francis now. I think we ironed that out last year. Next up, the Wyoming Cowboys are taking on the Akron Zips. Hey, don't sleep on this one. Wyoming's a road favorite, 5, apparently. All right, it wasn't a perfect night for the graphics man. In fact, let's see if it's still 5.5 here. 5. We better call it 5.5. I do see the sharp books are at 5. Total 48 here for Wyoming taking on Akron. This one opened as high as 9.5 here. And yeah, maybe they missed. Maybe they whipped with the point spread. But still, Akron, they have some they got some issues. So let's just see what we got here at this one. And look, Akron, maybe that was a good year last year with the 4 wins or whatever that they had. But the Zips had a penalty this year with their academic progress. So it really is a serious situation there with Akron, but still they're taking the money, and maybe people just don't trust a Wyoming team on the road. Their great coach did retire last year, and they only came back with 3 wins. So it was a really tough season for Coach Salvel there. But usually Wyoming goes bowling. So you got a coach who's made bowls in 14 of his 21 years as a head coach, and 3 of their losses were a combined 8 points. So they do have a pretty good offense returning at Wyoming, and they weren't very good last year, but they're definitely going to be experienced. Akron here really has been just dreadful. 3-38 in their last 41 games against FBS opponents, and just 5-30-2 at home when losing. If they lose, they get blowed out. So can they win today? They were 0-7 against the spread in their last 7 non-conference games. So that's another thing to worry about with Akron. All right. Michael Johnson does come in to take over at quarterback for the Zips. But, man, they look like one of the worst teams in the country to me. But, hey, they're getting some points and they're taking some money. So I never say somebody knows something. All right. Akron did cover 4 of their last 5. A lot of times they're getting some plenty of points. Wyoming went 5-1, however, in their last 6 last season. Wyoming has lost 9 of their last 12, 7 of their last 10 on the road, but Akron has lost 13 of their last 19 at home. Let's go to the chat. and see what you got in this one. Jimbo's got his plays in there. Jacksonville State plus 20.5, Akron plus 5.5 and under in this one. Thank you, Jimbo. Twisted in there. Akron, cash gains on the under, Roberts on the over. And there's Barr in the chat. He likes Wyoming to cover here in this one. All right, I like both sides in total, actually. But look, this one's moved down. Oh, here's another one. Terrell's got a double-digit win. And, yeah, okay, Elliot says 2 players are out for the entire first half because of that, because of that brawl. So, okay, cool. All right. The widely reported steam did come in on the under here. Wyoming went under in 5 of their last 6, but Akron's gone over in 8 of their last 12 games coming into this one. That total, it definitely has dipped here. 48, but this is some steam that I'm willing to chase. Give me the under here in this one between Wyoming and Akron. I'm fading a lot of. I'm the steam chaser. That old term. That's a naughty term, isn't it? The steam chaser. I'm one of them, but not in every game. And this one though, I am. Good morning to Sports Money today. Ready for some football? All right, next up. We've got Buffalo and Minnesota, a classic matchup here between the Bulls and the Gophers here in this one. Thank you for joining me here on the Morning Steam Show today. All right, let me preview the Bulls. Preview the Bulls here against Minnesota. All right, let's see what we got. All right, for the Bulls here, 17-point underdogs. That's a little bit of a move on the Bulls, actually. It was as high as 18.5. We're down to 17.5 here now in the total. 43.5 coming in to this one. So, there's been some money coming in on Buffalo, I guess, here, but the steam came in on Minnesota, according to the line service. I think this could be a good season for both teams, considering their expectations. I think the schedule's reasonable for Buffalo and Minnesota as well, despite, the conference schedule there. But you got to win some of these games, and Minnesota's a big favorite, obviously. Tough laying to this kind of number here, it feels like. A new quarterback, and you still got, the best defense in the MAC, I think, when it comes to Buffalo. Let's see here. Minnesota beat Buffalo back when PJ Fleck first came to Minnesota. They beat him back there. It must have been 8 years ago now, it seems like. But we'll see what happens here in this one with Drake Lindley in there. And it'll be a heavy run team for Minnesota for sure. Buffalo comes in. They were great last year under Coach Lembo. 9 wins for Buffalo. So see what you think. They were tough last year for sure. It does feel like that's kind of a sharp play on Buffalo. Buffalo, good defense. I don't think Minnesota will run all over these guys. Going to have a lot of running in this game. Buffalo against the Big Ten, 9-3 against the spread in their last 12 games. Let's see how you have it here with Buffalo and Minnesota. A lot of people have talked up Minnesota this year, period, to have kind of a good season. Buffalo won 5 straight to end last season, 4-1 against the spread. Minnesota's covered 8 of their last 9 games overall. 5 of their last 6 at home. They've won 10 of their last 11 against the MAC. Let's go to the chat. and see what you've got here in this one. All right, Elliot. Let's see. Bar says Buffalo. And Robert likes the under here in this one. Yeah, it's been moving pretty steady there for sure. Might be out of room, man. But man, I was thinking under as well. Gophers to crush Buffalo. He thinks it's probably a conference mismatch here, I think is what Nuke is saying. Terrell likes the over, though, here in this one. Robert says Minnesota to win, but the Bulls will. He says you take Minnesota, but the Bulls will win the MAC. Probably could do ourselves a favor and look at some of those conferences before they kind of get going. Really, but we're not in conference play yet. But I don't know. You look at the MAC odds here, and who's going to win. You got Toledo, Ohio, Miami, Buffalo has been the biggest mover in the offseason. They're just 4-1.
Final.
Buffalo for Jimmy here as well. All right. Well, even despite the move here, we've got more steam coming in that Lafayette Bowling Green game. It was 51.5, but it's moving higher here with Buffalo and Lafayette. This one's up to 52.5, 53.5, and going higher than that possibly. Hey, if you like the over, you can get in on a 51 or so. You might want to do that because this thing's going north of 53.5 with Lafayette and Bowling Green. Steam coming in here on the over. So don't forget, check out these moves here because we're not going to cover all these added board games, but we're going to tell you about these live moves here. All right. Hey, hit the thumbs up. Hello to Rod. Thank you for stopping by, Rod. Thank you for everything you've been doing for me here recently. Really appreciate all of your help. All right. I think that's going to do it here for Buffalo. I'm going to take the under here in this one with Buffalo and Minnesota. There's not much room to breathe. It doesn't feel like now that we're down here to 43 or so, 43.5. I'll take the under here with Buffalo and Minnesota. All right, man. I'm having such a good time. I don't want to go too fast because we're almost out of football games. And, well, we're not going to break down Longwood and St. Thomas, whoever's playing St. Thomas this week. But we will have some picks on those. Lindenwood's playing St. Thomas, not Longwood. All right, let's go here. Hey, we're neutral site. We're at Arrowhead Stadium with Nebraska and Cincinnati. Who is the home? Well, Nebraska's going to be – they're going to have the fan support here in this one. I wouldn't call it a neutral here necessarily, but the game being played in Kansas City, I think Nebraska here will have the attention of most of the fans. For Nebraska in 2 years so far under Matt Rule, 5-7, 7-6. Hey, being a Nebraska honk like I am, that's still not acceptable, but got to trust the progress here for Matt Rule at this point. Last year's, after all, their first winning season in practically a decade. So 15 starters return, including 10 on offense, including a veteran offensive line. And you got sophomore quarterback Raiola, of course, 2,800 yards last year, 11 picks, got to work on that, but 13 touchdowns. Rule 32-17 against the spread as road favorites. I don't know if you want to, this isn't going to qualify for that statistic, but away from home, they do pretty, his teams have done pretty well. Nebraska just 7-6 against the spread as a favorite under Rule, but Rule, he's done pretty well as a favorite in his career. Nebraska's 5-2 under Rule against the spread in non-conference games. For Cincinnati, that's been a bit uncharacteristic, right? They went 3-9, they went 5-7. So it's not Bearcat-like. They have 15 starters returning from last year, including 8 on defense. Another pretty solid returning offensive line. Got a veteran quarterback here. I say veteran. I think he's a sophomore with 2 years of experience, believe it or not, because of his status. So for Cincinnati undercoach Satterfield 4-7 in their last 11. 4-7 against the spread as an underdog, and Satterfield is just 17-26 against the spread as a dog. Although Cincinnati 14-10 ATS in their last 24 against the spread in non-conference games. These two teams haven't met in 25 years. Let's go to the chat and see what you have here in this one. Nebraska taking on Cincinnati. Nebraska's gone under in 10 of their last 14 games. They've also gone under in 6 of their last 7 games against Big 12 competition. Cincinnati's gone 0-5 straight up and against the spread in their last 5 games coming in. Cincinnati, though, 4-1 against the spread, last 5 against the Big 10. Cincinnati is still somewhat of a strong starting team in their opening games. They have won 7 straight in August. Not all their openers have been August openers of late, but let's see what you have. The widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game. So let's see here what you have. This has got to be the year for my Nebraska Cornhuskers. Go to the chat. You know what? Think about Nebraska. No Ohio State on the schedule. No Oregon on the schedule. They get USC at home. This better be it for Nebraska. Come on. Barr said, what did I take? I took, let's see here. What did Barr say? I took Ohio in that one, Barr. I still think Ohio can have a little bit. They'll probably have a little bit of a hangover, but they were so good last year, weren't they? For being Ohio. Here's VAR is on Nebraska here. Robert says Nebraska. Rod says he does think it is a home game for Nebraska with the proximity of Kansas City there. Cascade says Cincinnati, take them on the spread. Jimmy says Nebraska and the under. Robert's got Cincy. I know we're, let's see here, 6 plus 6.5. And did I say the line moved a little bit? Want to make sure. No, 6.5's everywhere. In fact, if anything, the move right now is kind of to Cincinnati here. I'm seeing Bovada's now moved to 6, but it is still juiced. Terrell says Bearcats and over. Rod's going to extendo here, I think. And Terrell says Rule in the 3rd year, right, Terrell? This has got to be the year for Matt Rule. And, you know, as being a Nebraska, I hated Nebraska when I was young. But then I got to know Nebraska fans, and that swayed me to become a Nebraska fan, believe it or not. They were so nice and kind and so passionate. Even through the hard times, it made me a Nebraska. I've got probably outside of, I might have more Nebraska gear than any other team. It's just in storage. All right. Jimmy says Nebraska here. I think he means lay the points. All right. Well, I got to make my call here in this one between Nebraska and Cincinnati. Let me make sure I got the right number here. I don't want to give out the wrong. Well, maybe I do want to give out the wrong play. That widely reported steam did come in on the over here. It's gone all the way up to 54.5 here right now. Oh man, I don't know if I can buy that. That feels to me like it's getting just a little bit. The rent is too damn high. I'm going to go under here in this one with Nebraska and Cincinnati. All right, Lee Anthony Quinones, nice to see you in the chat today. Oh man, it's our last college football games. Man. But we got a good one to talk about here with Miami O. They're all good, you guys, even if it's a 17.5-point spread. Miami O taking on Wisconsin here. This one's 17.5. Maybe it opens 16.5 here a little bit. I know it's fluctuated here, even touched 18 at one point, but I think it's safe to say 17.5 here in this one. You know, the Badgers need to notch these here because, man, once they get to conference play, it's going to get ugly. They've got to play Alabama, Oregon, Michigan, Indiana, all on the road. so they better win these games here. Fickle, just 13-13 in 2 years, and that's unlike Wisconsin for sure. But man, the conference is so tough. But good returning roster here. Production here as well for Wisconsin coming back. So Hunter Simmons comes in from Southern Illinois, the quarterback here. He was injured last year, but for Miami of Ohio, 9-5 last year. They beat Colorado State in the bowl game, and they've got a little bit of a rebuild here for Coach Martin. And we know that no Gabbert, so we can't rely on Gabbert. But ex-Baylor quarterback DeQuan Finn is the quarterback here. Wisconsin also a pretty strong production returning. Not much for Miami O really. So Wisconsin favored here by 100 points. Not quite. But Wisconsin has won 30 straight games against MAC teams here, and against the spread 15-8-1 in the last 24. Let's go to the chat, see what you have. Miami has this many returning starters on offense, and this is going to be Fickle's best team for sure out of the three so far, but this schedule is going to be tough. Good thing they have this easy one here. Okay, there we go with the chat. And let's see. Var says, what did you have in the NC State game? I went with East Carolina plus those points. NYC Bar likes the over here in this one, pretty low. Wisconsin to cover the spread. Cascade, Wisconsin here. Miami of Ohio, though, for Jimmy. NYC Bar says that is a big number to lay. It does feel like they can get there a little bit. Wisconsin just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games, but those were tough games, man. Miami of Ohio actually 6-3 against the spread in their last 9. We know they had a great year last year, but they've lost everybody, man. Terrell says 31-13. They'll roll them here today. All right, I better make my call here in this one. What do we got? Robert Franklin says whiskey. They'll pound them, probably be rolling that clock here a little bit too, right? In Miami, can they get anything done here going up against some big boys like this? All right. And Nuke says, I'm not so sure now all of a sudden. I got to take Wisconsin here in this one. Oh, man, that's a look at the college football. I didn't really prepare many notes for some of those additional games, but I will take a look at Stony Brook and San Diego State tonight, just maybe mention the game because it might have a little play on it. But, man, I'm looking forward to San Diego State. But, man, I'm not too confident in this team. Now, I know a lot of the experts believe in Sean Lewis, and I want to believe in Sean Lewis big time, but feels like they're flatlining a little bit, and to lay 18.5 to anybody, I got to feel skeptical about San Diego State's chances. We got a little bit more steam before we get out of here of the college football, some moves that are coming in on these added games. Lindenwood, I just mentioned Lindenwood, didn't I? They're taking the steam here against the St. Thomas Tommies. Lindenwood was a 3.5-point favorite. Right now, they're up to 4.5, and the total 52.5. These games are just coming out. The lines on these games are just coming out. Let me read a few of them to you here for some added coverage on the added board today. Eastern Illinois is a 5.5-point favorite against Dayton. Eastern Illinois at home, 5.5, 47.5 over Dayton. Another one that just came out, Towson State. Towson, I think we call them now. 10.5-point favorite against Norfolk. Total 49.5. Samford and West Georgia. Samford is 8.5, 53.5. We're only going to read the ones where the lines just come out. A lot of these added board games were already released. Alcorn State, they're taking a little bit of a move here. In fact, I'm seeing some steam. They just alerted me here. Alcorn was 8.5 at minus 120. Now they're minus 10 at minus 115 in their matchup today against Northwestern State. The total is 51.5. And there was one other one here. Youngstown State. Where's Thomas? Where is Thomas Lewis? Youngstown State's a 23.5 point favorite over Mercyhurst. The total 58.5. I was also waiting Alabama State and UAB. Oh no, that was one that came out earlier. Okay, I think all the games now have official spreads out there somewhere. Okay, Robert does say San Diego State will smash. I'm glad. I hope they do. I am skeptical. Oh, man, that's it for I want to keep talking college football, but we'll be plenty of college football, including tomorrow. So there goes the college football sheet. Where'd all those notes? And this is all I've got? Well, I got some notes on the computer. Got Major League Baseball today to get to. Here we know the tennis gets underway here in a half an hour as well. Got some great matches today. And what about the action there last night? Boy, it was pretty exciting, but I think tonight will be better. Got some nice matches here today. Thomas is ready. He says it's MLB. Yep, it is, Thomas. Let's go. The Red Sox are on the road, taking on the Orioles here with Garrett Crochet. Taking on Cade Povich and the Orioles. Got the Red Sox here favored on the road. Probably $1.95 by now, actually. I'm seeing some $2 out there currently. The total, 8 under 20. I'm going to update it to $2. Feels like the move is on Boston here. Although the widely reported steam was on the under in this game, there were some 8.5s out there for sure. Let's take a look. We know what Garrett Crochet's been doing, so why wouldn't they be a pretty big favorite? But, hey, it was a pretty good game yesterday, wasn't it? All right, for Crochet here, 2.38 ERA for 14-5 record. The Red Sox are 17-9 with Crochet on the mound, 218 batting average against, but 300 BABIP isn't perfect for Crochet. But for Cade Povich, a fellow left-hander, 15 starts, 2-7 record. Remember, he did miss some time, but Orioles are 4-11 with Povich on the mound. He's got a 5 ERA and a 3.36. BABIP here. So this is some big numbers. See what you guys have in this one today here with Baltimore. Taking on the Red Sox. Let me get to some of those trends as well. But really appreciate you being here with me today on the Morning Steam. Oh, we got a little bit, one more. Oh, man, we got some steam coming up there. Let's see here. Delaware and Delaware State, they got steam to the over here. Was 54.5. We're up to 55.5 here with Delaware State and Delaware. Blue Hens, obviously a huge favorite in that one. All right, their players are walking into the facility, and they were showing Peyton Stearns, but she was holding her dog up to the camera and said Peyton Stearns. It was a big dog, little dog. All right, here we go. Boston's won 6 of their last 7, man. They're on a roll here right now. 4 of their last 5 on the road. The Orioles have dropped 6 of their last 7 games, including 4 of their last 5 at home. Boston and Baltimore have gone under in 6 of their last 7 games against one another. Boston's also gone under in 4 of their last 5. What do you guys have here in this one between Baltimore and Boston today? Major League Baseball gets underway at 1:05 Eastern, 10:05 Pacific here with the Red Sox and Baltimore. I'm going to the chat here in this one.
Steam play.
Except for the fact that Youngstown State is taking the steam here right now on the Morning Steam Show. So this is live, actionable betting information. Not just going to break into some baseball. I'm going to pass these along to you, especially on the added board. Youngstown State getting steam right now. They were 23.5. They're going to be 25, I believe, here by the time this one stops moving. Youngstown State in that game against Mercyhurst. Just mentioned it. and they're up to 24.5 minus 15, but could be going a little bit higher here as Youngstown State taking the steam against Mercyhurst. All right, I'm back. What do you got here? Baltimore and Boston in the chat. Here I go. Red Sox run line here for Bar. Nasty Nate says the Red Sox to smash in this one. Cascade. Red Sox first 5. Lauren likes a Nerfy here. Good morning to Blue. La-do-dee-da-do-die. Here's Robert. He likes the under here in this one. And Blues play. He's driving, so don't do anything crazy, but he likes the Brewers team total over. All right. I got to make my call in this one. I'm going to stick with the under here in this one with Baltimore and Boston today. Next up, you got the Diamondbacks on the road with the fine Colombian Nabil Chris match taking on Jose Quintana and the Brewers. The Brewers are a little higher than this even right now. I believe it's about 165 here. I'm going to leave $1.55 up there. The square books maybe are a little bit higher, but the total here is 9 under 15, I'd say, for the most part everywhere. So let's bump it up here a little bit in this one with the Diamondbacks and the Brewers, and then see what you guys have here in this one. I want to mention also that Boston, that $2 price was on the back of some steam. Okay, here we go. Arizona taking on the Brewers on Thursday here. For Arizona, they've dropped 5 of their last 6 on the road. They have beaten the Brewers in 7 of the last 10 meetings between the two. Milwaukee 13-7 in their last 20 games, 12-4 in their last 16 at home. It's been good times for the Brewers, hasn't it? With this, hey, you're not going to win them all in baseball. That was an incredible run, and even if they dropped a few here and there, I still think they're looking pretty sharp. Despite having to shuffle it up there yesterday in the pitching, I sat here and bragged about Milwaukee and their deep starters. I still, when they came in with Ashby yesterday, still feels like they're pretty healthy in that department. For Chris Matt here, 1 start, good numbers for Nabil. He's not a newcomer or anything, but hasn't pitched in a couple of games so far this season in the major leagues. So pretty big advantage here for a guy like Quintana, 10-4 record. Brewers 14-6 with Quintana on the mound, 3.32 ERA. 239 batting average against and a 250 BABIP. Solid numbers here for Quintana. Let's go to the chat and see what you guys have here in this one. Chris Matt can go a little deeper. He's not a true opener or anything. I think he can kind of run a little bit deep. Barr likes the over in this one. 9 Legacy liked the Orioles back in that other game. And in this one, he likes the Brewers on the I think that's just Brewers regular run line. I don't think that is first 5, right? All right, I'll make my call here in this one with Arizona and Milwaukee. Milwaukee, as we know on this channel, I think we have to say it that way. All right, let me get to it here. Let me see what you guys have. I'm kind of deciding between that run line and that total here, it feels like right now, but all right. I'm going to have to go with the under again in this one. Give me the under with Arizona and Milwaukee. 2 games, 2 unders. We're doing it like only we know how. Yankees team total over for Blue. He's driving. He's texting. Rockies taking on the Astros here. Kyle Freeland on the mound. He's up against Jason Alexander. Remember Doyle Alexander? Anybody remember Doyle Alexander? All right, Houston here, 225, maybe up to 235. Total is down here too. 8.5 over, maybe 8.5 over 15. It feels like I'm seeing even some 8.5 flats. And I'm going to call this one here. Got to call it at least 235 right now for the Astros with Alexander here. For Alexander, he comes in with a 4-1 record. Astros are 6-1 so far with Alexander on the mound. 4.59 ERA, 250 batting average against. For Freeland here, 3-13 record for Freeland. Colorado 7-17 with him on the mound. 5.31 ERA, 340 BABIP. You got to know that. Your numbers get elevated a little bit there in Colorado, but Houston here. Right now for the Astros, they've won 4 of their last 6. Colorado's dropped 5 of their last 6. They've also dropped 12 of the last 15 games to Houston overall. 10 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams have gone under, and we saw there yesterday a big time under. I was spouting off on the happy hour about how I thought this was going to be an over in that game. Kind of bucked Mikey said go under, but I didn't listen to him, and it was an under for sure because Framber dealt, and there was 4-0. So better just wise up. All right, let's see what you guys have though here in this one. Go to the chat with the Rockies taking on the Astros here today. Pretty big game for the Astros. You got to keep winning these games here against teams like this if you want to be hanging on against Seattle right now. 1.5 game lead, I think it is, for the Astros, as they've dropped 3 of their. Was it 3 of their last? Let me just go to the chat. I got too much football in the brain. Okay, here we go. Houston run line here for VAR. Astros run line for 9 Legacy. D-Money likes the under here. Houston money line for Blue. Cash Kane says Rockies first 5 money line. Robert's on the under here. And you know what? I've got to thank and welcome and wish happy day to Copter. Copter heard the name Doyle Alexander and immediately went to make a comment. Man, that's cool. So cool, Copter. That just shows me that I don't know. I don't think you're a first timer. I think you just don't, you're busy. You're watching the show and you had wanted to comment after you heard Doyle Alexander traded for John Smoltz. How about that? That might be his claim to fame, even though he pitched for many years, right? Good call, Copter. Good to see you there. Thank you very much for taking the time to comment. All right, I got to get on with this one with Freeler. You know what? I still never going with Colorado. And I'm not one of those guys. I don't have a do not bet list. I don't have but we just, we're going to keep going against Colorado. I don't see the progress here to shut off going against them when you're, basically 55 to 57 games under 500. Justin, good morning. He's got Altuve total bases over, and Tex likes the Astros. I got to take the Astros here on the run line. I don't think I may have gotten burned here a couple times with Colorado of late. And, but it's just hard. It's hard. It's just, All right. Next up, Pittsburgh taking on St. Louis here with Braxton Ashcraft taking on Miles Mikolas. Ashcraft, 2.7 ERAs. Looked really good. 1.17 whip. 233 batting average against. 300 BABIP shows of maybe a little bit of overachieving so far. For Miles Mikolas, we know he hasn't overachieved. He's probably underachieved. 6-10 with a 5.17 ERA, 278 batting average against. But you do have St. Louis trying to still build a little bit of momentum. They're not going to make it. They are 7.5 back of the wild card right now. They keep every time they make a little progress, they get knocked back down. Pittsburgh's actually 1-2 straight coming into this one. Let's see what else you got here with these two and take a look at some of the numbers here with Pittsburgh and Colorado and St. Louis here. This one at 2:15 Eastern. So we're still in the day games here. All right, I'm going to go to the chat and see what you guys have. All right. Freeland back there on the outs prop. Thank you, Jermaine. And NYC Bar, St. Louis on the money line. Justin's got Triolo over in his total basis and Blue. Blue, if you get pulled over, don't send me the ticket. And Justin likes the Pirates here in this one. All right, man. Am I going to have another under here? Swerve. Whoa. Pittsburgh money line. And Robert likes the over here in this one. Oh, man. Robert likes the over. Oh, boy. I'm going to go under here with Pittsburgh and St. Louis. Well, I've got 3 unders in 4 games. Next up. Oh, we got some steam coming in right now. Let's see what's going on here. You know, it's going to be some college. Nope. Nothing we're going to be talking about here on the air. We're not into some of these soccer leagues, right? I mean, we are, but not to interrupt our program. Shoto Imanaga on the mound here, going up against Logan Webb. For Imanaga, 8-6 record, 3.03 ERA, 9.36 the WHIP, 2.04 batting average against, and a 2.13 BABIP. Terrific year here for Imanaga. If anything, he hasn't been rewarded. 11-8 are the Cubs with Imanaga, but the Giants with Logan, he's 12-9 with a 3.13 ERA, but a 3.43 BABIP. Giants have won the first 2 games of this series. We had the over there in that game yesterday as a pounded in that one. I know the Cubs were really popular yesterday with a lot of cappers. Hey, we were on them here in the show in the morning. But, right now the Cubs have run into it here against a Giants team that, they're all but left for dead, but they're 7 games back. They have a 4-game winning streak. They got to keep it up right now. They got to keep winning here, it feels like. For the Giants, they've on this 4-game winning streak, they're still just 4-15 in their last 19 at home. Cubs have dropped 4 of their last 5 here in the Bay Area, but they've won 8 of their last 12 overall. Cubs have gone under in 7 of their last 9 games on the road. Giants have beaten the Cubs 6 of the last 7 here now in San Francisco. Cubs have gone under in 12 of their last 17 overall. 3:45 Eastern, 12:45 Pacific. This is the last day game of the day. Let's see what you guys have here. Let me give you one steam play, though, in college. Let me give you 2 steam plays in college football. Duke over, we talked about it, Duke and Elon. Duke was a 33.5 point favorite. Call it 34.5 right now. Duke is getting hit here in the morning action. Also, steam came in just moments ago. St. Francis and UL Monroe. We already said Monroe took that big steam. They were 22.5 at one point on the opener, up to 27.5. But now here's the total moving higher. It was 45.5. Call it 46.5. Steam coming in, St. Francis and UL Monroe. Got to keep track of that. All right. Well, what do you have here? Cubs and Giants today. Imanaga, he's the feels like the equalizer a little bit to this trend right now that the Giants have had a pretty good series here. Make no mistake. And yeah, we've been picking on them a little bit and making fun of their hitting and all. What do you guys have here? I know that this one looks like an under, but man, is it still 7? It's got to be 7.5 by now. The Sharps, okay, I'm going to move it to 7.5 under, and I'm going to go over. 7.5 under 20, we'll call it. There isn't many books. Most of the books are 7 over right now, but I know there's a pretty popular book at 7.5 under. So grade me at that. I'll take the over here with the Cubs and San Francisco this afternoon. More steam coming in right now, and it's on. The Missouri Tigers against Central Arkansas. Missouri was 36.5, but right now Missouri's up to 37.5, it looks like here in this one. In the move against Central Arkansas, call it 40.5. This is a big move right now here on the Morning Steam Show. We don't mess around. We're giving you the hottest moves. By the way, Duke, they're up to 36.5 right now in that game against Elon. Big time movers here on the Morning Steam Show. But also, UL Monroe. They were once, as I said, the steam had already come in. They were a 22-point favorite, 22.5 on the opener. They're now 31. It's moved since we've been on this show. It's moved 7 points. That's why we're here on the Morning Steam. Getting steamy in here. Keep track of these. Be ready. Especially be ready on Saturdays with the FCS action. This, it's hard to cover FCS on the air and give out, previews unless you're doing it kind of in a long form. But those lines don't even come out until Saturday morning. And when we're on the air, the moves start coming in and we just start giving you the moves. And so be ready with your picks or be ready with your apps or your books and get ready to hit those so you don't get beat on these 3-point, 7-point moves on some of these games. All right, hopefully we're doing you a solid here on the Morning Steam. Let's take a look at some of the comments. All right, Stop Geo likes the Astros. Imanaga under, Jermaine says on the outs. Cash Kane on the under here. Justin likes the Cubs in this one. And Stop Geo's on the Cubs. Blues on the Giants. Nine Legacy says Cubs first 5. We've got steam coming right now. Oklahoma State in their matchup against Tennessee Martin. Oklahoma State opened 17.5. They were just 20.5. And then now we're seeing them get steamed up here right now from 23 to 26.5 right now. A 3.5-point move. Oklahoma State over Tennessee Martin. If you see a 23, you grab it. Because even if you don't want it, you just take 26.5 in a couple of minutes. You may have already missed the boat. Oklahoma State, 26.5 now over Tennessee Martin, getting steamed here right now on the Morning Steam Show. All right, we're back here going over these. NYC Bar likes the over with me. Robert Franklin on the Pirates. Robert's on the Cubs. And Robert M on the Cubs. Robert F on the Giants on the money line. So a little back and forth there. The Giants offense has woken up, obviously, a little bit against the Cubs of all teams. But Imanaga coming in there tonight against Webb. They're dealing. I'm still going over. Next up,
System play.
We've got the Braves taking on the Phillies here with Quintrillion. I would change my name. How about Ramon Quintrillion? This name ain't working. All right. Atlanta here taking on Philadelphia this evening. We're into the night games now. For Quantrill here, 4-11 record, 5.51 ERA, 1.41 WHIP, 310. Babbitt for Nola, 2-7 record. We get Nola time here, so we're all excited here today with Nola pitching and 2-7 record for Nola. He struck out 11. What did he strike out in that? 6 innings. It wasn't 11 strikeouts. I'm going to go with the season long number. I want to look it up. But 6.52 ERA, 300 batting average against 358 BABIP. But look, it's still nearly a $2 favorite here. So I think that says all you need to know with Nola. In fact, it might be down to $1.75 or so. The square books might still be a little $1.85 max here, it looks like. And the total is 9.5. I think that was just a typo on the screen there. It was never 8.5. I'm going to call it 9.5 flat for the most part. What do you have here with these two? For Philadelphia here, they've won 5 of their last 6 games at home. Atlanta's won 7 of their last 8 games on the road. Atlanta's won 13 of their last 18 games overall. Atlanta's gone over in 6 of their last 9. 12 of the last 18 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Let's go to the chat here. Any more picks for the Braves and the Phillies here on Thursday night? Blue is on the, maybe it's here. Justin's on the over here in this one. NYC Bar likes the Phillies. And Nine Legacy likes the Phillies as well. All right. And I'm going to go with the over here in this one. Apache Storm is here today. Nice to have Apache Storm. I'm getting word that, we just talked about some of these college, some of these added board games, these FCS games. And look, I don't know these people, right? I'm I'm over here on Sports Money. Will Johnson, nice to see you today. He had the Aces, he had the Phillies. Nice to see you. But we just talked about some big moves in college football, and it may be hard in those added games now to latch on to some of that steam because it's going, the ones that were 3-point moves, those were RAS releases, if you know what I mean. The 3-point movers that I got all excited about there, the Duke, the Missouri, I think even the Oklahoma State may have been. I can't confirm them, but I know that RAS just sent out their added board games, and those were the ones that moved. So I can't confirm that yet. We will be able to confirm it because I do follow the major services, but you can be rest assured, and maybe even Monroe. I don't know which ones they are, but they just got hit, and the word came down that I heard that Raz had put out their releases. Not an endorsement. You may fade these guys the way it's been going, right? All right, that's it for that one. I got a couple more in the major leagues here with Marlins taking on the Mets. You've got Mazer here going for the Marlins. So they've added Mazer here, but he's up against Clay Holmes. And the line's 265. I don't think it's that high anymore, though. Probably down to no higher than 260. I'll take off about a dime here and call it 255. Total 9 under 15. Or I'm sorry, total 8.5 over 20. No movement there. All right, for Holmes here, 26 starts, 11-6 record, 3.6 ERA, 1.31 WHIP, 286 batting average against Mazer. 1 start, they lost. He has a 6.35 ERA. Wasn't great there, but what do you have maybe here in this one? I don't know if we'll discuss it for too long with a big line like this. Miami's lost 13 of their last 18. Mets have gone 5-0 in their last 5 games at home. They won 5 of their last 6 overall. Miami just 2-7 in their last 9 games on the road here. Got to piece this one together, and maybe, just maybe, it might be some run line action. Let's see what you got. I don't think the run line's too bad here at $1.25 when you're talking about the New York Mets today. I'm going to take them here over Miami to cover that run line. Just give me the Mets on the run line. I'm not ready to do it with the Marlins here in Mazer today. All right, Holmes here on his outs prop. Hope I didn't miss any plays back there. Jermaine went over on the Phillies. I don't know if I missed that. And D-Money, Mets team total over. 9 Legacy likes the Mets on the run line as well. Get a little square there, but I'm going to have to take the Mets on the run line as well. Got one more in the major leagues. Man, we're doing a good job knocking these games out, talking about them a little bit here today. And I want to get ready to watch some tennis here in the top of the hour. So got a little bit of WNBA as well. I don't know if I can finish in 9 minutes, but here we go. Yeah. Oh, no line on the screen here. Yankees call them $1.85 favorite here. 9.5 on a 9 under 15. Yankees on the road, big favorite against the Sox. Against the Sox. Am I saying the right Chicago there? With Davis Martin. For Will Warren here, Warren comes in with 4.47 ERA, 140 whip, 1.4 whip, 248 batting average against. The Yankees are 15-12 with Will Warren on the mound for the White Sox and Davis Martin. Martin's 5-9 with a 3.93 ERA, 252 batting average against. White Sox 6-13 with Martin on the mound. That's about kind of what they are anyways, if not a little worse. So, what do you have here on our last game? Yankees have won 6 straight on the road. White Sox have dropped 14 of their last 20. Yankees have won 4 of 5 now. The Yankees have gone over in 9 of their last 11. White Sox have gone over in 6 of their last 9. And what do you have here in this one? Can the Sox jump up? Is this the one? Is this the spot for the White Sox? We'll go to the chat and see what you guys have with these two, but I don't know. Might be on the White Sox here. Here we go in the chat. I mean, the Yankees are only averaging 8 home runs a game. Here's Yankees run line from 9 Legacy. Man, it's hard. I'm going to take the White Sox in this one on the run line. I just watched the Yankees mash all those home runs yesterday. I'm sure they'll do it today, but I'm going to try the White Sox today. Just a price play. The run line here for the White Sox, even money. So I'll take the White Sox here on the run line. Not much from you guys. And Apache Storm loves Mukova, and she's going to win today, says Apache Storm. Nice to have Apache Storm in the chat. Yeah, I mentioned some of those great matches today, and I'd probably more look to the prime time with Anise Samova and Maya Joint today. How about that? But I think everyone, all eyes, Coco Gauff against Vekic. I read the articles. I don't think Coco, until she fixes the serve right now, whatever is going on in her mind. Look, it's a great serve, but got to get them all in there. What are some other nice matchups here today that are closely rated? Ashlyn Kruger and Jacqueline Christian. Kruger, obviously a hard court specialist. Perry and Zarazua, a closely rated match. In that Muhova match you mentioned. Sinner's a 3-dime favorite, ADM minus 2250. Zverev and Fernley today. Zverev minus 1100. Jermaine went over in the last game. Thanks, you guys. Let's go to the WNBA real quick. Maybe I can get out of here before some of these tennis matches start, make a little breakfast, and watch some of these matches here. Mystics and the Liberty here in this one. Hey, you see Justin in the chat? Make sure you're joining me on the 2-3 Zone show every day with myself and Justin and Ron Crawford. We preview the WNBA. I'm going to give you some picks here right now, but you can get more picks from me every day on the 2-3 Zone. And hey, you saw Rod Zawacki in the chat as well. I join him every day on his show, The Happy Hour at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 Pacific, on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, giving out my late plays. That's the late information. After the pitchers change the pitchers, after the teams change the pitchers, and then I want to get in there and mix, I got to get a new play in. All right, let's take a look here with the Washington and the Liberty. It's a big one for the Liberty, right? Because I mentioned already on this show, I think the Liberty, right now they're in 5th place. If you come in 5th place, you ain't hosting at all in the playoffs, and you want to win the championship again, and you got to play all your series. Now, WNBA win one road game. I mean, just like anything, it turns it around, but WNBA especially because of the shorter series. But still, that first game's on the road. All right, here we go. WNBA tonight between Washington and the Liberty here. Big points. We know Liberty, they're terrible at covering these big spreads. They've been that way all year. They just kind of take it for granted, I guess. Did get a couple finals in Eurobasket. Georgia beat Spain 83-69 in an upset for sure. Georgia looking good. And it was also Israel against Ireland. Ireland got the money there for the most part at the end, and it went under. All right, 13 and I got 13 and 163 here. So hey, the Liberty, the line has gone up, and maybe for the Liberty here, just a little bit of news today. Isabel Harrison, she is probable after missing a couple of games there, and Natasha Cloud is also probable for the game here. So they get those players back. J.C. Sheldon is out of this game for Washington. Maybe that's part of the factor here as to why we've seen this thing move up to 13. The Mystics have been so up and down bad. I'm taking the Mystics. I'm taking the Mystics here in this one. Liberty just playing down to the level of the competition, especially as a big favorite. They've not been a good favorite at all this year. I'm taking the Mystics. They're done. The Mystics aren't eliminated yet, but they could be. But they're just taken on by a thread. We're down to the final games of the season here, just about a couple weeks here in the W. All right. Johnny Walker did have a first nerfy there. First 5 under. Thank you, Johnny Walker. And great performance last week. A VAR here, Yankees run line, Apache Storm. Did I miss these? Bobby Mack says go with Golowich here today. And Apache Storm likes Adam Walton. Justin McKelvey has Jones here over on our points and rebounds prop at 23.5. All right, I'm taking the Mystics. Next up, Storm and Lynx here in this one. And we got the Lynx favored here by 9 now in the total, 164.5. So a little bit of move here for sure on the Lynx. The Lynx are so far ahead in the standings, you wonder how they can cover. You wonder how they can keep covering some of these spreads, but they're relentless right now. And they haven't clinched the best record, but I think it would be today, or maybe they have. I don't think they've actually clinched the top record yet. The Aces are 5.5 games back in the standings, and with that massive winning streak again. But Seattle comes in here desperate. They're in 8th place right now, but they are still 1.5 games clear of the Sparks. We've got some breaking steam here in college football with a matchup here. West Georgia in their matchup against Samford. The move is on the dog here, which is interesting because basically every one we read off here, if I'm not mistaken, on the added board has been on the favorite. Here's a move on the dog, West Georgia at Sanford, and it was 8.5, but right now the move here is on West Georgia, and this one is moving to 7.5. So just a 1-point move there, but it is on the dog, West Georgia. All right. Storm and Lynx here. Let me keep going here right now. So, man, you think about it, right? The Storm, they don't seem to play very well right now. They've had a rough season, but they are 1.5 games clear of the Sparks. Still want to keep winning, of course, but this is hard. They're an underdog, so you got to figure they're expected to fall to 500 anyway here. So let's see what you have. I'll go to the chat and see if you guys can't help me here in this one with Seattle and Minnesota today. All right. Neka Ngumake over on her points prop. All right. Hey, I got to make my call here in this one with Seattle and Minnesota here. Jermaine also with a play there in that Colorado game with Freeland. I don't know if he's behind us or. All right. Well, I got to take Seattle in this one. I mean, if anything, look, they're getting the points. They need to keep winning. Minnesota, what's my motivation? I'll try Seattle here. I can't go premium in this one. One more here, and then we're all done. Oh, I got to put it on the right channel here. Got to get to the tennis. All right, last up, we've got the Sky and the Mercury here, and the Mercury favored here by 12.5. No, yeah, 12.5, 164 here in this one. And for the Mercury here, they're embroiled in that high stakes matchup there in the 4-5. They are a half a game ahead of the Liberty. Like I said, the 4-5 is the most crucial, it feels like. But the Mercury, they also trail Atlanta by just a half a game. We know the Sky are done. They're inconsistent at best here, covering some of these numbers. But let's see what you have here with the Sky and the Mercury. Final game of the show. Thank you for joining me here on the Morning Steam. All right. And we've got AT, triple-double for Justin. That's it. All right, I'll take the Mercury here to roll in this one. Give me the Mercury. That's it for the Morning Steam. Let's see what we have here also. There is, maybe we could get off some Eurobasket here. AOD stopped by today. I'll have some tennis picks here. Still not clicking really. We're starting to click with some of the higher level plays. So we're going to back off here on some of the plays on the show, but got a great card here of action today. Got them rolling on the super high roller over at Tony's Picks for sure with my tennis after we finally struck some gold yesterday. All right, maybe one more, huh? How about one more steamy here? Nope. That's not what we're reporting on. All right. That's it for the show. We're going to do the drawing here in just a moment. We're also going to see who was top chatter. Let's go with Mike and get that commercial, and then we'll send you off.
It's your boy, Mikey Money. I'm inviting you to join the Sports Money crew on Winnable. Get all of our premium best bet selections.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays sent straight to your phone right when you need them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
All right, thank you, Mike. And you can get my plays over at winnable.com/Ramon for my high volume plays. All right, and here we go. Going to do the drawing here right now. The winner gets a free month of subscription over at Winnable. Use the promo code WINNER to get that. And let's do it. Nasty Nate, Duke Worker, Blue, Cash Cane, Textiles, Robert, Jermaine, Thomas, Lauren, and the winner is, it's Jimbo again. Jimbo, if I see you sign up, I owe you 2 free months. 2 winning. Okay, Jimbo, thank you very much. Great job participating here as well. So really appreciate you. All right. Let's see, Eurobasket. Oh, man, France and Belgium just underway. We did, let's see, man, what did France go off in that game? 20.5, and the total 155 there. All right. Coming up here in 15 minutes, Bosnia-Herzegovina. Well, quickly, one steam move here we got to get off. Elon and Duke. This one's moving under. Boy, this one I like. Under here right now. We did mention that line, and it is currently at, this one got a head fake, it seems like. 50.5. They're steaming the under here right now with, let me see. Oh, no, they were steaming the over. Okay, I'm sorry. The over got steamed here from, I don't like it. Sorry about that. The over got steamed here from 47.5 up to 50.5. Steam came in on the over between Elon and Duke. All right. Thanks everybody for joining me. I hope it was good for you as it was for me there. And let me see here. I want to play this Bosnia Herzegovina. They're up to 30.5. Oh my gosh. And 167.5. Can't do it. The move is too great there today. Yeah. I'm going to take my Eurobasket play here. Slovenia -6 over Poland. That goes off at 2:30 p.m. Pacific, or 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 11:30 Pacific in that one. And I'm going to actually pair that up with the over. Give me Slovenia and the over Eurobasket. We hit our Eurobasket parlay 2 days ago, right? So, what was it? Yesterday. We hit that Eurobasket parlay yesterday, right? What game was that? I'm trying to get off the air here, but we hit the Eurobasket parlay actually yesterday with Serbia and the under. Who were they playing? Estonia? Well, whatever it was. Okay. Give me Slovenia there and the over. Slovenia and the over. I'll take a parlay in Eurobasket today. That's going to do it for the morning steam. For the thank you, everybody in the chat. Apache Storm says Slovenia to rock as well. Thank you, Apache Storm. Thank you to Robert. Thank you to AOD. All right. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. Ramon Scott, sports